What's going on, Sports Nation? I'm your host, Kenneth Tiberius Clark, and you guys are listening to another phenomenal episode of the Sportsculsive podcast. So, usually every episode we're exploring some different avenue of sports. That's not going to change today. While we're going to do that, we're also going to spice things up, and we're going to show you guys how to make some money, right? Which is always good. It's always fun. So I got my boy Kenneth Johnson on the call. Military guy, right? Collegiate basketball player. And he is going to talk to us about the process of being a part-time referee in officiating youth games, whether it be, younger kids or high school. So I got my boy Kenneth Johnson, on the call. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, man? What's going on? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Before we start this, I want to let your fans know that you're named after me. So.
Here we go. No, he's named after me, right? So, but no, man. So, okay. So, well, first of all, how you doing? How's life?
I'm good, man. It's been good. Happy New Year. A good way to start the year. Everything's good. Can't complain.
So, okay. So obviously we're going to jump into the meat and potatoes with the refereeing thing, which I'm sure a lot of people are interested in learning about. But
yeah,
first, let's talk about your collegiate, your basketball career, because I know you have a pretty extensive basketball experience. Talk to us about that really quick.
I wouldn't say extensive. I played junior college basketball, then went D2. So it wasn't extensive. I wasn't that great of an athlete. But I did play college. I did play college basketball. I'm not gonna sit here and be dishonest. Thing that held me back was my grades. So coming out of high school, I wasn't a qualifier, so I had to go junior college and go from there. So I played some collegiate basketball, but I know a lot of my sister. She played Division I basketball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends know. I've been around the game my whole life. I didn't play at the top level, but like I said, Division II and JUCO ball. So that's why I played at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be real. A lot of guys don't even make it to D2.
No.
Right. So,
if I tell anybody, this, I'm 33 years old, play any amount of basketball. Go get you a degree. It doesn't matter, D1, 2, or 3. It does not matter what you play. Go play basketball. Those are some of the best years of my life, man. Get on the bus traveling with some of my guys. So it doesn't matter. People say you don't go D1, so what? When NAIA does not matter. You play basketball at the collegiate level. Go get you a degree. Go make you some connections and be out here, so for yourself and for your family. So it was fun though.
100%. And what was the name of it? What was the name of the school you went to? D2?
Pfeiffer University.
Okay. Where's that at? DMV area?
Nah, North Carolina.
Yeah. So I think this is the biggest question for me. I don't meet very many guys that say, "Man, I want to do this officiating thing." Like in either sport, whether it be basketball, football, I don't meet very many people that are interested in officiating. What kind of prompted you to go that route or to start looking into that route?
So it's crazy. So my dad, man, he was an official. When my dad was in the Army and growing up in Oklahoma, I first remember seeing my dad referee. I don't think it was even high school. I think it may have been like the base league or something. And me and my sister used to just, every time he had a game, we would go. We'll do the clock. I'll do the clock. She'll do the book, or vice versa. And I just seen it. And then, I was fortunate enough. I was blessed enough. My parents, I really didn't have like a real job growing up. So I just, did my schoolwork, which I thought I was doing my schoolwork. And then during the summer, I played AAU, right? So like I said, I was blessed that I didn't have to have a job. But when I went to junior college, and I came back in the summer, well, I think before I even went, I had nothing to do, and I used to go with my dad at these tournaments. And if this guy ever sees this style, Steve McCoy, he's like, "Why don't you referee?" And this was AAU basketball in Richmond. There used to be this big. If you're from Richmond, you know about U-Turn. I used to have all these tournaments at this gym. So I was 17 years old going. I think I was going to college, and I was refereeing, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. I was refereeing basketball, and that's back in the day. They used to pay $25 cash.
Mhm.
I was young, I had a whole bunch of energy, and that's how I got into it. But I remember seeing my dad do it, and like my dad had so much fun with it, and then me and my sister, like we had so much fun, like going with my dad to his games and when he got in high school. So that's how I saw it. That's how I got started by seeing my dad do it, and that's my biggest role model to this day. So whatever he did, like I just followed the steps in it. So that's how I got. That's how I started.
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm assuming you and your sister, who I've gotten the pleasure of meeting, um, you guys, even though you guys were players, you guys had fun mimicking referee calls and.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely, yeah. Like even now, my son, I got a video. Like this Christmas, he went in game. He went and saw me referee. Now he has a Fox 40.
Uh-huh.
Like he has a whistle that he carries around every day. But yeah, man, it was so much fun. Like we seen so many players. Like they have that. Sometimes my sister would go with my dad, but just have that time with him. But like we got to see a different side of the game. Like you said, a lot of people not talking
No,
about
not at all.
even to be to know how to do the book, to know how to do the clock. And I think it was important as a basketball player, we knew about these things.
Mhm.
Like I know how to, how to do an official book, what it's supposed to look like. I know what the clock situation should be. I know how to operate multiple clocks. Even as a referee now going to these gyms, and some schools they have a person who does a clock, but sometimes they have just students and they don't know how to operate it, right? I've seen every clock from a portable clock to the big ones. I've seen every clock. So I think that's good to be in that basketball area. But even if you don't want to play, there's other things you can do to be around the game. So that was one of them that we did.
So okay, so let me ask you this: having that knowledge early on, when you as a player, whether it was at the high school or collegiate level, would you be at games and you'd be like, "This is a shit show"?
Oh, most definitely.
Like this is terrible, and no,
Most
and
definitely.
everybody's like, "What's wrong with him?" And you like, "I just know this is not right."
Yeah, I mean, you got people you don't know, like when to shoot 1-and-1. You don't clock situation, when to reset the shot clock. Don't know rules. Technical fouls that are personal foul. It just makes the game when you have it's very important when you have people at the table. I know when you have people who know what they're doing,
Mhm.
it makes the game go so much smoother. So if you're talking about basketball, you need that person at the table who knows that'll help you out, keeping the fouls, keeping the possession, right? Because as a referee, you have so many other things to worry about, which is a part of your job, but the table will help you so much. So when I'm on the court and I'm looking like, okay, I see they ain't keeping the fouls up there, they don't know the fouls, maybe we in 1-on-1, anything can change, right? When you don't have the people at the table. So yeah, that knowledge did help me out.
Okay, so now obviously jumping into the referee part. So you play collegiate basketball, right? No, you did some time. You're still in the military, right?
Yep.
Um, break down the process because let's be honest, I can't just get up and just go up to the game and be like, hey, but throw on the stripes and be like, get a whistle and be like, hey, I'm about to cut. They're gonna be like, if you don't get your black ass out of here, so but there's an actual, I'm assuming there's an actual I don't want to say legal but official process to being able to officiate games. Break down
Yeah,
that process for people that would be interested in going that route.
yeah, everywhere's a little different. I just talk about right now in California. So CIF. So I just started here. I just moved to California in March. So as soon as I got here, I mean, it's simple as Google high school basketball in California. Their page is gonna come up. Whatever the association is in that area, their page is gonna come up. And I just reached out to started from the president all the way down to somebody who answered my question. Basically, reach out to him. I want to be an official. I had previous work to this, but that's why I just started. But I just, hey, I want to be an official. This is my year's resume, yada, 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 boom. So most places, they'll start you as so I just say in California, they start you what they call a development official,
Okay.
right? So people who haven't done it before, they'll just develop you over the fall leagues, because I think they have like different fall leagues, and then there's some during the summer. So they develop you, get you comfortable with blowing the whistle, all the calls. Then you can be a transfer, kind of how it was a little different. But so boom, you do that. You go to the fall league. If you're developing for people who are starting out, they develop you, and then you have to take a test. You have to register with CIF. Take the test. You have to score 80%. It's breaking down questions, different scenarios. And that's really it. You take your test every year, but once you get certified for that calendar, for that school year or that basketball year, you're good. Then the association will set you up with an assigner. He'll assign you games. And I know here in California they have freshman, JV, and varsity. So they'll assign you games based on your proficiency or how well you are as an official. So I've had some varsity games. Like I said, it's my first year here. Kind of got to show myself to them. So I had some JV games as well. But it's simply that process. Find you an association in the town that you live in,
Mm-hmm.
take the test, go through whatever process they have for verifying officials, getting you comfortable, or training process, I would say, with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, each one is different. But go through that process, and then they should start assigning you games. And it's really just that easy.
So they assign you. It's not like a you. It's not like a you choose, or it's just like, hey, we need you for this game, or we need you for that
Right.
game.
So there's a thing, it's called Arbiter Sports. Boom, they put you out. There's a calendar that I put out. I literally, thank God for my lovely wife who lets me do this.
Mm-hmm.
I every day I don't have duty, I'm doing basketball from November to March. So every night I got a game. So I go into to a calendar,
Mm-hmm.
block it out, like basically the day I don't want to work. And then the assigner say, hey, like tonight I have a game, 5:30. I'm sorry, 3:30, 5 o'clock. I accept the game, and then I show up to the game.
Wow. So okay, so you mentioned something as you were talking. You said you had some prior experience outside of what you learned from your dad. What was that prior experience? Had you done some officiating before at a lower level?
Yeah, so kind of not going. So like I said, I started at 17. I was doing AAU. Then I go to school, so I didn't do the high school. I go to college, come back during the summer, do AAU.
Uh-huh.
So I learned under some guys. Like one of my main mentors uh, when I was in Virginia was a guy named Garrett Shannon, and this guy also George Crocker. Garrett Shannon is a high level official. I think he touched the league. I know he did some G League stuff, but in SEC, uh, um, George Crocker, highly decorated official in the Virginia area. So during the summer, these guys would take me to different places to like referee basketball. So that's where I started to learn and gain that experience and sit up under them. I really never ever went to like any camps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I kind of when I joined the military, I kind of gave up on that dream of like being a college official. So I never did really any camps. I just during the summertime, I just always referee basketball. Like I said, that was really my main source of income for a point. But like I've done some, I tell this story. People on the East Coast will know this. There's this thing called Big Shots basketball. So I remember, I was young and I refereed Grayson Allen and Frank Mason
Wow.
before they even went to Kansas and Duke, respectively. I remember calling my sister like, "Hey man, there's this guy Grayson Allen, Duke's looking at him." I just refereed that game so at Big Shots in South Carolina. So I've been all covered down the East Coast. So just refereeing every summer really from like 17 to like till I joined the Navy to like 22. It's really my only experience. And then until I got back in Virginia, and then I started refereeing high school basketball like that. So,
Hey, it's almost like you have just as much officiating experience, almost as much as you have basketball experience.
yeah, most definitely. Like I said, the only thing is when I joined the Navy, I mean, I went to Japan. So actually in Japan, I did basketball for the league there too. So I mean, anywhere there's basketball, there's room for officiating. But like this summer, I'm definitely gonna try to. I'm definitely gonna get into a camp. Try to move my way up. Try to get some collegiate basketball under my belt out of high school.
So, how would you say you go about? And I think this is the interesting part to me. So, you have that experience, but there are going to be people that they don't have any type of officiating experience. All they have is maybe some playing experience.
Mhm.
What is the process like? I know maybe some of these associations, is there like a training process? Are
Yeah,
they gauge where, because I'm assuming they met you and they felt like, okay, well, this guy's experience, he already gets
yeah,
it in some areas, so your process was different. But first,
yeah.
I'm assuming some people who are new to that realm, it's a longer training process for them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's like I said, during that fall, definitely going to give you like these fall league games.
Mm-hmm.
I know here in Cal and San Diego, they had like on Saturday, so where you would just referee, plug you in different positions. They're just going to train you. I mean, to the smallest thing, it
Mm-hmm.
may laugh, but how to blow your whistle and put your hand up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a foul. This is a violation. Like, this isn't a foul. This is black power. Like, we do this way. So little things like that, how to be comfortable with coaches. There's a rule books you have to follow. So they will train you. That association that you're with will train you. But like I say, because every association that I've been a part, they have like a training criteria that you have to follow. So they will train you. But if you want to train outside yourself, definitely record your games.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely read the rule book. Don't go off tribal knowledge because it changes every single time. There's point of emphasis every single year, so you definitely want to read your rule book. But the best way to be a basketball official is to officiate. Right?
That
Don't
makes
be
sense.
scared.
Basically,
You have to get out there.
Basically, you got to throw yourself in the fire.
Go out there. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna get booed. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Even the best officials miss calls. We're humans, right? But that's the best way to get out there. So find your association, find your training program that they have, and then just get out there and call basketball. You got to do it. That's the only way. And I would say watch tape, see yourself, why you called, why'd you call this, what position were you in. So someone who just started has no background, find an association training program, and then run right. Just deep dive yourself inside basketball and watch basketball too.
So you can get a better idea what's what call, what's okay.
A lot of times when I watch basketball now, it's like I'm not watching the players or the excitement. I'm watching, okay, why did he call that? I'm watching, this is deep. Why did he rotate? What matchup is he looking at?
Right.
So just things like that. So watch basketball from a different perspective.
Wow, that's deep. So, okay, so then here's a better question. What would you say are the pros and cons of officiating in your experience? And you can narrow it down, but what would you say the biggest pros and cons are?
Pros, I would say obviously it is another source of income. Not gonna sit up here, and it's another source of income. Some of these high D1 officials are making good money. And high school makes, for what we do in high school, we make it's a nice part-time job. I'll say that. So I'll say the pros, another source of income. But if you want to do something, like I want to stay around the game of basketball. I'm not playing anymore. I don't even play for fun no more. So this helped me keep around basketball. It helps me. When my son is growing, he's at that 5-year mark. Maybe a couple years, it keeps me around the game. That's what I love. Also, too, it kind of give you some. I don't want to say like giving back to the community, but it does integrate you within your community. I will say that.
Okay.
Even though now that I'm just moved to California, I've been to some of these schools multiple times. Some of these kids are starting to notice me, parents. So you kind of integrate with your community.
Mr. Johnson.
So that's a pro. And just love it. As far as cons, I would say is right now we have a shortage of officials.
Oh.
So if you're watching this and you like basketball, you want to become an official, there's a shortage. Last night I did a game by myself. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So it was just one, So there's a shortage of officials. Sometimes these parents, fans, and I would say other officials too. Some officials just do it for the money, right? And that's not how that's supposed to be, right? I want to go out here and give these kids the best game I can give them, right? I said I'm gonna make every call right. But so when I say what con would be, people's not hearts in it. Some of these parents, you see all these videos of kids coming out here punching officials, spitting on officials, and that's why there's a shortage. Nobody's gonna be out here being disrespected.
Right.
Right. So I would say that would be the con. The disrespect. Yeah.
I'm assuming you've had maybe not spitting or kicking, but you've had a couple angered fans, parents kind of get out of line a little bit. You had to.
Yeah. I had this one parent in Virginia say, my son get fouled again. I got something for you. I can't control, your kid being fouled, it's wild,
Right.
And I say this, right? These kids, these parents, these coaches, right? I'm not emotionally invested in this.
Right.
I had somebody told me I was cheating for this one team. I said, sir, I'm not even from here. I don't even, I'm not first time ever at this gym, right? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I'm not, but they should be emotionally invested in this,
Right.
right? So I don't take it personal,
Right.
right? But at some point, like, it ain't that deep.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are playing a game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna respect you. And yeah, I may miss something, but I'm definitely gonna give you. You're never gonna see me walking on the court. I'm gonna hustle to get to the right spot. I'm gonna treat you with respect, even as a,
Mm-hmm.
these young girls. I call them ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man. I call these young boys sirs. I
Mm-hmm.
treat them with respect. So the same thing. Sometimes I give a technical foul out. It is what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
that would be the con. Just sometimes, just a little too much, man. Just a little too much.
Wow. So, okay. So that being said, you just talked a little bit about the pros and cons, especially the cons. What would you say are some qualities that a person would need to perform in this field, in officiating? What would you say are some qualities people need to possess?
I would say first of all, you definitely be in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Physical shape.
Yeah.
If you want to be, and I don't compare myself to other people.
Mm-hmm.
There are some guys who are not as in shape. That's on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving you my perspective. You definitely want to be in shape, right? Also, personal. You need to be a little personable, right? I
Okay.
had a coach yell at me the other day. He's not yelling at me. We're in a close game. He's yelling because it's loud, and so
Right.
you don't need to take stuff to be emotional. I would say you need to be able to be coachable.
Right.
That is, you know, referees that are still doing it are still being coached. Players are still need to be able to be coachable to learn. In shape, you definitely want to be personable, coachable. I think those three things are right there. If you could do those three things, you could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because being a referee too is kind of like breaking the ice. Kind of, you don't have to be so cold.
Right.
I think myself as a people person. I
Mm-hmm.
talk to you like we don't have a good game. You got anything extra? You can talk to me. I'm not one of those refs that don't talk to me during the game. Ask me a question, I'll answer it. If you want to talk, I'll let you talk, right? But ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. So I you just got to be personable, right? And like I said, personal, in shape, and be coachable, and I think you could be successful.
Wow. And look, and a little bit of patience too, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that patience.
No, most definitely. Wow. Yeah. So, there you guys have it. Part-time officiating, according to Kenneth Johnson, especially in the state of San Diego. Now, I will ask you this, and once again, you don't have to give me exact figures, but for people that are wondering, are really considering getting into this, maybe in this local area or in the DMV, whatever, who knows? What would you say is, if they're doing this part-time, how much extra money they can make? Is it 300 there? Like, just give them an idea of some of the money they can make doing officiating on the side.
It depends how much you work. So
Yeah.
I have no problem,
Yeah, you hit the pavement, so
yeah. And so if you, for San Diego, this is public knowledge, so it's not nothing I'm not telling. But if San Diego, South County, they pay 60 plus for JV, and they pay 80 plus for varsity. So how many games you want to do is dependent on you. And you can work much as you want, work less as you want. I know some referees work every single night. Some referees will only work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it depends on how much you want to make. Then I will say, the further you go up, the more money you will make. And I'm not going to speak on stuff that I don't know, but that's just the further you go up, the further the
in any
more you
field,
make.
yeah.
Right, and the less you have to do to make that much more money, right? So ACC officials are making more than D2 officials, right? It's just
right.
It's just like so. But in this area right here, like I said, 60 plus for JV or freshman, and then 80 plus for varsity.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
And there's a lot there's a lot on both sides. I heard a guy tried to recruit me to become a lacrosse official, and I know nothing about lacrosse.
I actually like that sport. Yeah, lacrosse.
No, he said it's very similar to basketball. But like I said, I don't know if my wife's gonna let me. I'm pretty busy during those months. I can only do one sport.
She's like, nah, you ain't finna do lacrosse too. Yeah.
No. That's why people like, you do football? No. My wife lets me do one sport, and I'm gracious enough for her to let me do that. But it's fun. But yeah, if I said for basketball officials, I know it's let me get it right. I don't want to get it wrong because I know they are looking for officials. So I'm just gonna plug them. Uh, San Diego County basketball officials. I'm never South County and North County. Don't know that I just moved here, so I don't even know what's the difference. I think North is a little higher. People like Escondido, I guess.
Yeah.
South goes all the way to like San Isidro.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're official, just starting out, no, you're not going to get Mikey Williams games. Don't even think about it, right?
Cancel Christmas on that.
No, you're not. No. You gotta show and prove yourself, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they have a shortage of officials. Just try it.
Yeah.
What's the word? I mean, you're not. There's no. You're an independent contractor. You don't like it? Say, guess what? I'm done. But yeah, man. So I hope this helps somebody. If you want to do it, definitely want to do it. You guys can reach out. Social media.
Yeah. How can the fans reach Kenneth
Now I
Johnson?
got an Instagram. I'm not that big, but it's Johnson 2_J. Reach out to me. I can help. Whatever way I can help you, I help. And hopefully this helps somebody out.
Yeah.
And then understand, man, it's so, even if you don't want to do that, you don't want to do the clock book, all that good stuff, man. Because I don't mean to keep going, but you understand, like, that stuff is in the NBA too. Like, you can get a job being an official scorer.
Just
like,
running the clock. Yeah.
They need somebody to do that, right? And you think about clock issues, like, that's important. You get down to that, them last 2 minutes, you need to stop, start, all that stuff, man. Anything. So I think what refereeing has also made me think of is, and I wish I would have knew this at a younger age, there's so many other ways to be involved in sports without actually running the football, passing the football, dribbling. Need something.
That's big.
There's other ways. So find it if you really love sports that way. People even talking about sports, right? There's other ways, to be around the game, whatever game you love, man. And officiating is part of that, and everything's a part of that. So I hope somebody comes away with that, and hopefully we get some new officials this year off this.
Look, who knows? I may, I got a basketball background, so who knows?
No, you don't.
No, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this. All jokes aside, I played when I was little. I played in one league, and I talked
church league.
In the church league, right? No. I played like in a little, it was I actually played with my sister. That just shows you it was a league. We were the Celtics, and like I tell them all the time. I told them on the podcast. I knew I wasn't going to be great, so I had to take some charges and I had to set some screens and I had to make myself valuable. But no, like I said, anybody that has definitely listened to this, I hope you guys were able to take something from it. And use this as a way. First of all, it's 2023. We've been talking about this, especially the last few years. There are so many increased and added ways to make income, not just in the sports realm, but period. So, I hope you guys looked at this and be like, especially some of my old hoopers. Come on, man, stop talking about them high school days, man. The college days is gone. Maybe you could take advantage of this, and this could be another avenue for you. So, I appreciate you, my brother Kenneth, named after me. For coming on and sharing some knowledge with the fans, man. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. I might have to come to a game and watch you officiate.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, like I said, this year's been a mix of little JV. Like it's my first year in varsity. I'm not strictly a VAR. I do whatever game is good. But hopefully next year they give me the Torrey Pines tournament. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I think around this area, state playoff game. So when I get there, because I'll be there, we'll definitely have to do something else again.
Most definitely. They're gonna be like, "Oh, who are you here to see? Which kid is yours?" I'm gonna be like, "The referee." I believe
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because my wife and my daughter came to the game, and my daughter, she was like just making a whole bunch of noise. And Lady was like, "Oh, I guess she was bringing the team luck." And my wife was like, "No, we're here for the referee." That's one of the coolest things, man. Like looking in the stands and like see your family, like see my son, like trying to emulate me, like doing calls, man. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't. There's a picture, man. I got him. This man, like I said, I brought him a whistle, and he does not take it off.
Not at all.
Nah, man. I don't know if y'all can see it. Well, you can see it. Like,
we got the glasses on.
but don't take the whistle out of his mouth. So man, that's the coolest thing to kind of like have your kids emulate you or be there to support you. So.
No, man, most definitely. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing, and you owe your wife a vacation. You can't just be doing all this stuff. You owe her like a Cabo trip or something. I don't know, man. Maybe a spa day. But hey,
Well, her birthday's in March, which is like the end of the season, so I'm gonna use my money to, help. She'll have a good time.
Nah, most definitely, man. But once again, thanks again. And like I said, we look forward to keeping up with your journey, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. And good luck to your Cowboys this week. I definitely thought y'all was gonna lose.
I thought we was gonna lose.
I called you to, just check on you, but congratulations on y'all playoff win. I know it's been some time.
30 years.
But that'll end this weekend.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. It is. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I don't argue with people. I just tell them what they want to hear. Hey, look. I learned this term when people be arguing with me. I tell this is what my sister taught me. She said, "I don't negotiate with terrorists." So yeah. So we'll see what happens.
All right, man. I appreciate you having me, man, and see you around, boss.
All right, my brother. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, man.